are you? I feel like I'm a bit crooked. So I'm going to be doing some collective readings today, and then I'm going to take you guys through some psychic development tips. Now, before I get into it, just letting you know, this here, I've got this look going on because I had to have a little procedure yesterday on my face, but everything is fine. Just a precautionary because I had a mole there which we wanted to cut out. So I've got some stitches and stuff there. So I'm going to start off with a collective reading, and I feel like I want to mix it up a little bit this week. And I have my romance love deck here. So I feel I'm going to, coming off the back end of Valentine's Day, I'm going to do a collective reading in regards to love. And then I'm going to do a collective reading with messages from Spirit deck that I have, and see what collective message we have from Spirit and past loved ones. So I really want to dive into that, see what messages come through, and then I am going to give a couple of psychic development tips. I felt inspired to do that because I've been having, I always get people ask me these questions, but just this last week and even the week before seems to be coming up a lot in conversations. People asking me, Kaysey, all these things are happening and I want to know, what does that mean and how do I tap into it more? So I want to go into a bit more of the development side of things. So if you're interested in a bit of psychic development, then stick around because I will go into that. So I want you, if you have a question about your relationship or your love life, I want you to just think about that. And I'm going to tune into the energy right now of relationships collectively. I will pull a couple of cards and give a couple of different scenarios. I feel like this one I'm going to ask about people who are already currently in relationships, and then I'll tap into the energy of the people who are single. So if you're currently in a relationship, just thinking about that, asking any question you might have about your current relationship. And the card that has came out for those of you who are already in a relationship or maybe newly speaking to someone is, this could be the one. You've already met the romantic partner that you seek. So this is for the people already in a relationship. And immediately I feel like people are questioning their relationship, questioning if it is the right person. I also feel like even the right situation, the right surroundings, it feels like there could be things interfering, and it has you questioning, is this the right person for me? I even feel like some of you are like, this is too good to be true. Is this really for me? Is this the person? But the answer is yes. I feel like the partner that you are with right now, or the person that you are interested in and feel that strong connection with, definitely is the one or could be the one for you. You may find some obstacles, and this could be why you're questioning the current relationship you're in. I do feel very drawn to children. So I do feel like there's going to be announcements of pregnancies. Some of you may already be pregnant and you are about to give birth, or you're planning a baby shower. There's a lot of energy here around babies and families, but also just even celebration about relationship in general, because I am also seeing engagements. Maybe you got engaged on Valentine's Day. Maybe you can see, I don't know if you can see it, but the man's holding the woman's hand here. And I just feel like that's a proposal. There's engagement energy here. So some of you will be newly engaged. Some of you are probably hoping to be engaged. But I really feel that there's positive outcomes here. Now, I also feel I have to address this too. If some of you are in a difficult situation at the moment in your relationship, I feel like you'll come back together as long as you are both open to communication and compromise and change. It feels like a situation where one of you might want one outcome or one scenario and the other person wants something completely different. If you can meet halfway, then you and this person can truly progress forward and have a happy future together. This is for the people that are already in relationships. Let's see what message we have for people who are single. What's the message? Oh, my camera's moving. What's the message for people that are single and needing guidance? Oh, all right. And I feel like I need to, yeah, awesome. So interesting. The card that came out for those of you who are single and looking for love and hoping you're going to find someone is release your ex. The time has come to clear your energy. So if you are single, you could be newly single and you're really struggling to move forward and you're really struggling to accept that you are no longer in this relationship. I also feel like your ex might not be able to let go of you. So you have you've gotten out of this relationship, but the ex just won't let you go. And this is really interfering with your ability to move forward. In some way, shape, or form, the ex is an issue in your current reality, whether this is a physical problem or it's an energetic problem. And what I mean by that is they might not actually be speaking to you. You may not be seeing them, but you are still tied to them emotionally, energetically. It's still in your energy. So I would highly, highly recommend doing a cord cutting ritual, which you can do through a meditation. Guided meditations are great for this. You can also do journaling around this, set your intentions. Selenite wand is being shown to me. You can cut cords with selenite wand, running it over your body. Or if you'd prefer to go to someone who knows what they're doing, you could do that as well. But we definitely have to release the ex. We need to cut the ex off. You guys are not going to get back together. It's not going to be a good idea to get back together. So even if you were to come back together, I feel like there's going to be issues there. So needing to release the ex in order for someone new to come into your life. I feel like some of you have probably been single for ages and you're thinking, well, I haven't spoken to my ex for 2 years or a year or whatever it might be. But energetically, there's something holding you back in regards to a past relationship. There's something here you need to release. All right. And once you do, the man is just going to come into your life. You will be able to meet someone. The energy, it's like the doors open. The energy field is clear. You are putting out to the universe, I want love and I'm ready for love. So I hope that's resonated with some of you. Now I'm going to pull a card from the deck here and I'm just going to ask, what do your loved ones in spirit want you to know? And we'll see what comes through in these cards. What's your loved one in spirit want you to know? Oh, this one jumped out. Oh, this is beautiful. This is a beautiful message. This just come jumping out, and I'm just going to pull another card as well. All right, perfect. I've got 3 cards here, which is beautiful. The one that came jumping out was, I watch over you every day. So this is just a reminder and a confirmation that your loved ones are always in your life. And even if you can't see them anymore or speak to them, they are there with you. Now, sometimes you might smell their scent, or you may look up in the clouds and feel connected to them, or the stars. I really feel even being in nature, there's something that you might do that makes you feel even more connected to your loved ones. And I encourage you to continue doing that. But just know that no matter what you are doing, your loved ones are there watching, and they're able to see what you're doing in your everyday life. They really are still a part of your life, like I said, just in a very different way. So I also have to say, Spirit said, some of you get signs. So it might be through feathers, butterflies, angel numbers, music, however it is coming through, but you're dismissing it and going, no, that can't be them. That's a coincidence, or that's not real. This is your confirmation and your reminder that it is real, and try not to push it away, okay? The other 2 cards I felt really drawn to pull were really beautiful too. We've got, I will always point you in the right direction. So asking your loved ones for direction, and even if you don't hear them back or you don't see a sign directly, just knowing that those little nudges you feel to make a different decision, or the little nudge you feel to go a different way on your way home from work, or, you know what, I'm not going to go to this particular place. Those little nudges where all of a sudden you're on a different path and you're doing or planning something different. This here is because your loved one in spirit is pushing you or lightly nudging you, depending on their personality, in another direction, and you should trust that. If you're struggling to make a decision, ask them to show you the way, okay? And the last one here was, I always give you a good night kiss. So if any of you are jumping into bed at night and you're feeling your hair being played with, funny, I'm playing with my hair, they feel your hair being played with, or you might feel a touch on the shoulder or something on your back, or you might literally feel a kiss. Some people do say they feel that presence at nighttime or even during the day, but this message is really relating to the people who jump into bed at night and you might be speaking to your loved ones and your angels and you feel the presence. This is confirmation that that is really happening, and they are really giving you that kiss or the little, back tickle or hair play or whatever it might be. Okay? So I hope that those messages also resonated with some of you. I really felt drawn to use this deck, and I actually haven't used this in a very, very long time, probably about 4 years, and I think I've only ever used it once. So it's really nice to get that deck out and connect again. Okay, so just for the remainder of today's session, I'm now going to talk a little bit about how you can start enhancing, tuning in to your psychic ability. So I know that people will typically say, look, meditate. Meditation is a great way to connect, which it is. It's very, very true. It is something I will often say to people. But I think it's important to note down that meditation doesn't always have to be sitting down and, having your fingers like this and doing the guided meditations. Meditation can look different for everybody. So if you're one of those people that really struggles to sit still, listen to the words, listen to the music, meditation for you can be any practice that really puts you in a state of relaxation. The point of this is when you're connecting to spirit, you really want to have a clear mind, because that way then you can hear what spirit are actually saying to you. If you have a lot going on and you're out of focus and you've got your mind filled with all these emotions, all these different things going on, when spirits speak to you, you're not going to be able to hear them. And you won't be able to hear them because of all the noise that's in your mind. This is why we say meditation is a great technique and tool to use to be able to open up your third eye and open up to spirit, okay? Another thing that you can do if meditation of any sort doesn't really resonate with you, so if walking in nature or coloring in, drawing, painting, getting creative, listening to music, if any of those forms don't really connect with you, another thing that you can do with opening up your third eye or opening up to spirit is doing a lot of work with your crown chakra. So our crown chakra is located just at the top of our head, and that is what connects us directly to source, okay? If your crown chakra is blocked, it's going to be impossible for you to have the messages coming from spirit. So working with your crown chakra, you can do meditations for that. Now, if you don't like meditation at all, you can just envision that your crown chakra is opening up. So you can do a little visualization I like to just close my eyes and just bring my awareness to the top of my head, just generally a little bit above. And I just imagine that at the top of my head, there is a flower or a lotus. I like to imagine the lotus flower there on top of my head. And I just imagine that it's opening up. Now, whatever works for you, totally cool too. But just as a basis, that's what you could use. And the whole intention and idea is as you are imagining that lotus flower opening or the flower blossoming and blooming, that is your crown chakra opening up and giving permission for spirit to connect to you and to give you messages. So you can imagine it's opening up. And then what I like to do is I like to imagine that the white light is coming from my crown chakra and going all the way up to the sky, all the way up there. And that is connecting me directly to spirit. And that helps me with the connection and to get messages from them. If you're feeling as though the crown chakra is blocked, what you can do is get a Reiki session, a chakra alignment and balancing session, where someone who is attuned to Reiki or is familiar with energy work or chakra work, they will actually be able to give you that balance and clear it, remove any blockages, and then you can start on that fresh slate of energy, right? So doing that little visualization exercise though, and putting the intention out there really does make a difference. Now, I think another thing to really take note of when you are wanting to open up and you want to start connecting to spirit, one thing I think a lot of people leave out, and I'll get to grounding in a moment because spirit, I like grounding. So I will get to that in a moment. But one thing I think a lot of people leave out is our vessel, our body. What I mean by that is, what are we putting into our body? Okay, are we having a lot of processed foods? Are we drinking a lot of, sugary drinks? This can all factor into energy and how you connect. Now, I'm not saying that you need to go on a strict diet and only drink water and, cut out all of the toxic chemicals, because that is, almost impossible in this day. But my point is if you're just conscious of how much water intake, because water is source. I feel like that's the creator. Water is so powerful. So we want to make sure that we are staying hydrated. And the water, I believe, really connects us to ourselves, to God, to source, to angels. So how much water are you drinking? And paying attention to that, because water is very cleansing, very healing, I believe. And I believe it helps us connect. But also, I find for myself, if I eliminate processed foods from my diet, even just for a week, I used to be vegetarian and my difference in connection was incredible. Being a vegetarian I couldn't maintain that, have low iron, but also I like to eat all different types of food. So it just wasn't feasible for me to be doing that. But you might feel aligned with being a vegetarian or a vegan or pescatarian or whatever it is that want to do. But it's something to be mindful of, and it's something to keep in mind that sometimes that really does have an effect and it can make a difference. Like I said, doesn't mean you can't connect if you're doing those things, but the clearer the vessel, the easier it is for you to connect, because you're just a clear vessel, okay, to receive the messages. Also, clearing trauma. And I feel like this is one thing that is missed a lot when we're talking about psychic development and connection to spirit, is when we hold on to trauma, when we hold on to unprocessed emotions, it can really block us. Because when we are connecting to spirit, what we're really doing is just connecting to our true self, connecting to our higher self. We are just being ourselves. We're at one, love, peace, connection. And if you aren't able to connect and love yourself because of unhealed traumas, that can also block your connection to spirit as well. So again, it comes down to healing and keeping your body as pure as possible. And like I said, doesn't mean that you can't connect if you don't do these things, but this definitely does help enhance the connection. And shifting trauma and doing the work, the shadow work, you might do it through breath work, you might do it through Reiki, womb healing, inner child, past life, all the different ways of doing it. Not only is it going to help you to connect to your intuition more, not only is it going to help you to connect to spirit, but also you're going to feel much better because you're letting go and releasing any baggage that maybe you were holding on to. So there are a lot of benefits and a lot of positives to going down that road of healing and cleansing. And I promise you're going to notice a huge difference in your connection to yourself, your intuition, and to spirit. By working on yourself, doing the work, it's amazing the layers that just come off. And it's amazing how easy it is for you to connect when you don't have all that noise and you've processed your emotions, you've let them go, and you're doing the work on yourself. Now, there's also techniques that you can do to open up your third eye. So you can do a little activity, and this is what I like to take people through, and it's directly relating to your third eye. So you could do something simple just by closing your eyes and bringing your awareness and your focus to your third eye, which is located in between your eyebrows, in your forehead. Bringing your awareness to this area and just bringing the awareness there. And I want you to just pay attention to this area. And I'm going to ask you to tell me if you can see a rose, a red rose, as you're just bringing your awareness to your third eye. Now, if you can see it and it's very, very clear, this is a really good indication that your third eye is activated, like it's open and it's ready. You're already tuned into the clairvoyance. It's very clear for you to see that. Some people might say it's a little bit fuzzy, but you can see an outline, or you can see a rose or a flower. You might have seen something else. You can see it, but it's like quite difficult to see fully. It's not clear. This means that it's you might have a block there. Your third eye might not be completely open. There's a bit of debris there, might need a cleansing, or you're a bit afraid, but it's open, but it needs a bit of work done on it. And if you haven't seen anything at all when I ask you to see it, it just means the clairvoyance aspect of your abilities just haven't been activated, or perhaps just today, because you'll notice some days you're going to feel more connected than others, and that's okay too. So if you weren't able to see anything, perhaps working and doing the activities I've said will help in opening that. What you can also do is you can get an amethyst crystal, and I believe I've got one here with me. And what I like to do sometimes, not very often, but in the beginning of my journey, I used to actually put the amethyst on my forehead. I would lay down. I would just imagine that the amethyst is clearing. I would sometimes go like this in a circle clockwise and just set the intention to open up my third eye to be able to see visions that are healing, bring clarity, messages that are filled with love and light, whatever you want to say. But we always want to set the intention for that. So that's something that I would do just to help clear that and open it. And there are a lot of other things we can do, but I want to just try and keep it, I suppose, simple and effective. But one thing that you guys could do as a little activity after today is next time your phone rings, I want you to just let it ring and take a minute and close your eyes and bring your awareness and your attention to your third eye. So your phone's ringing, close your eyes, bring your awareness to your third eye and just ask, and you might not know who you're speaking to, but you can just say, Spirit or Guardian Angel, higher self, can you please show me the person that's calling me? Show me the name, give me the feeling, who's calling me? And you might hear a name or you might see a name, and then open your eyes and see if it's the person calling you. And these little activities is how you can really start strengthening and growing your clairvoyance, and just repeating this every single day, doing the same things every single day, and it builds you up to it. It's like a muscle, I say. It's like going to the gym, right? The more that you go, the stronger that you get. The more you do these practices, the stronger it gets. Of course, using cards is another way too. I feel like a lot of people love to use cards, so it's a really cool, easy, and effective way for people to start really opening up their senses and their abilities. You've got the cards there, you pull a card and you just look at it and you think, okay, what does this card mean for me? I'm going to close my eyes as I'm holding this card. I'm going to look up to my third eye and I'm going to see if any images are shown. Am I seeing anything? And again, if clairvoyance isn't going to be your thing, maybe you'll feel things. Maybe you'll hear something or smell something. This is really going to be for you beginners as well. It's really going to give you an idea of where you're at with your abilities, what's going to work for you the strongest and what isn't. And it's just a part of the journey, because some people, maybe at this point in time, you're not supposed to see things. Maybe you're just supposed to hear them or feel them. So this is a really great tool as well for you to start knowing what's going to work for you and what isn't. So practicing these little things every single day, being persistent with them. You could also, Spirit is saying as well, hold certain things, and you could practice psychometry. So psychometry is where we hold an object and we get a feeling from that object. So you might want to hold something and close your eyes and see if you see anything while you're holding the object. See if you feel anything. It could be any object. It could be your friend's keys or a piece of their jewelry or anything. It could even be a crystal. Picking up a crystal and just holding it and asking, what does this crystal mean? What are the healing properties of this crystal? And just sit with it for a few moments. Maybe you'll start to feel anxious and you might start feeling a bit sad. And then if you look up the properties of the crystal, maybe it helps with depression and anxiety. So really just practice. I want you guys to practice and try these new little things that I have suggested. I really hope that my little tips have helped and maybe brought your awareness to some other things that you weren't aware of before. I'm going to leave the show there, guys, but I want to just say thank you so much for being with me today. I really hope that you found this helpful, and I hope you all have a really great week. Bye, guys.